the only good thesis for you is a done thesis. In order to have a thesis that's done, you have to have a thesis that is doable. You want a thesis that is doable within your time frame. You want a thesis that is doable in your time frame that doesn't make you crazy, that doesn't make your thesis advisor crazy, and that doesn't make anybody you live with crazy. All right? This is why the research question must be so carefully focused, because how you articulate the research question will help you understand when you are done investigating it, right? If you have a research question that is, I'm going to describe all the important things about procurement in West Africa, you are not going to have a done thesis by next September, right? There are so many important aspects and challenges in procurement in West Africa. So you don't want that for your research question. You want something that is doable by you and your time frame. We're going to talk some more about the research question, but this is what essentially the introduction says, Olivier, why this particular question is valuable. It's worth asking and it's worth answering with my investigation. And you do need to explain it. Otherwise, people will look at your findings and say, yeah, so what? So this is where you have to shape how other people think about the value of your doable question. It becomes very valuable in that respect because it helps you understand, it helps others understand why it's worthwhile to do it, and it's focused enough, you end up with something focused enough so that you know when you are done. When is it safe for you to have a change of opinion? You proceed thinking that it's this way, and then you come to believe that it's really another way. This is wonderful. This is learning. Now, another basic premise that I want you to have is you do not write a thesis about what you already know. You write a thesis about what you are learning. A very helpful how exercise that I have found in my own writing, and writing research papers and doing research on an ongoing basis is not so different from doing a thesis, except that I already have my degree, right? And so instead of giving it to a committee, I send it to a journal, and they send it out to other people who don't know me who give me feedback on it, if it's worthwhile, if it's interesting, if it's really making a contribution to our understanding. So I struggle with this a lot. I'm talking to you not just based on the degrees I have, but on my ongoing work. And one of the things I find extremely helpful is about once every 3 weeks, I ask myself to say, this paper is about, and I try to say it in 2 or 3 sentences. Sometimes I try to write it, just write 4 sentences, what this paper is about. And sometimes I call a friend on a phone. I said, okay, Louise, I need about 20 minutes of your time. I'm going to tell you what I think this paper is about, and I'd like you to say back to me what you hear. And so I say, this paper is about, and I kind of stammer and kind of may change as I'm talking. And so he tells me what he hears, and I hear something different in what he heard. And some of it might be, make me realize, I'm not very clear on that. That's not what I meant. But some of it makes me think, I think that is what it's about, and that's more important than I thought. That is that feeling of, I'm changing what my paper's about. I'm changing about what I thought was important about this work. You will do that if you write your thesis about what you are learning. You will do that multiple times. And it is a good feeling. what you want to do is, by the time you are preparing your final version, you have a lot of confidence that you know what this paper is about. It's not going to include everything that you've learned. It's not going to include everything that you still want to learn because of what you've learned. But you're going to say, this investigation is done. I might have all these other things I want to do because I got really energized from learning these things. You put those in a section called For Future Research, right? You contain that energy because the only good thesis is a done thesis, right? But by the time you stand up to defend, even preparing the PowerPoint presentation to present your thesis in the formal defense, I hate it that it sounds so antagonistic. You have to defend yourself. But when you present your thesis, as you are doing the PowerPoint slides, you may get even clearer on what that darn thesis is about. That's good. That's good. You want to be able to say in 15 minutes, this is what I did, this is what I learned, this is why it's important, and here is the main takeaway for me and for all of us working in this area.